We are on a Tuesday. This is Tuesday night, 2.5 days after the Super Bowl, and still Kyle Shanahan, 49ers head coach, is talking about how he came to his decision to take the ball first in overtime, and now, more importantly, how he parsed out making sure his team knew what the overtime rules were, right? Because we found out yesterday, some players, Kyle Juszczyk, a couple other players, Eric Armstead, hey, we didn't really know what the rules were in overtime, that it was different from the regular season, and suddenly it was the worst thing ever, which we told you last night. It's a bad optic. It's a bad optic.
But that's the thing that he's responding to, right?
Exactly. But the impact on the game is minimal. But still, you can tell how big a deal this is, because here's 2 days later and he's still talking about it. Juszczyk said today, hey, listen, I'm not saying this affected any part of the game. People just want to hate on Kyle Shanahan, which makes me think Juszczyk listened to the show last night, took exactly what we said and said it today, because that's exactly what we said. This is people, I want to hate on Kyle Shanahan, and I'm going to find a way to blame. He says, no, that didn't have any impact on the game. Today, Shanahan said, listen, we talked about what the rules were in overtime in the playoffs. I talked about it with the coaches. I told them to tell the players about it, the position players about it. I don't know how that got gone through and went through. We talked about it at the beginning of overtime. I talked about it with Brock Purdy. Everybody was on the same page. We understood, but it wasn't something, that I said, okay, here are the rules. This is what we're doing. So this is yet another day of him trying to explain this way, because this is where it's at right now. Because people are insane, Harmon. People are insane. All right, you want to fire Kyle Shanahan? You're crazy. You are absolutely nuts. These are the same people that want to fire Ryan Day and his 64-8 record because, well, at the end of the year, boy, we lose to Michigan. We lose one game a year, and it's to Michigan, and boy, it's so sad. You have gone to 2 Super Bowls and an NFC Championship game with this guy, and yeah, have you lost? Yeah, it happens. Oh, by the way, because someone's got to lose. And 2, you've lost to the bleeping best quarterback in the NFL, who's on his way to being the best quarterback of all time. It's not like you came in and lost to Zach Wilson, right?
Well,
you lost to Patrick Mahomes, right?
And the GOAT, the established GOAT before that in 28-3.
That's who you lost to. That's who you lost to. But people want to fire Kyle Shanahan, and it's absolutely insane. It's like fans think we can get anybody to get us to the Super Bowl, and then this guy is going to put us over the top. Like Ohio State fans think we can get anybody to win the Big Ten and beat Michigan, but now and then get us over the top with this. We can get anybody to do anything else during the regular season, but this guy, it will also get us over the top. I mean, for a second, realize what it is to go to 2 Super Bowls, to coach in 3, to be the OC for a 3rd. That's a hard thing to do. It's not suddenly, it's our birthright, we're going to Super Bowls. That's very difficult. Yes. Did you lose? Yeah. Were some decisions made that were bad? Yeah, you can question any coaching decisions. You can question plays that were called, that you watch them unfold and go, why didn't they unfold this way? Well, hey, as you said so many times last night, eventually your players have to make plays. Oh, how was Chris Jones unblocked on the last play before in overtime that the 49ers have the ball? Is that Shanahan's fault? Apparently that's Shanahan's fault, too, that Chris Jones is unblocked. It's not the offensive line's fault. They're fighting with people on social media about whose fault it is that Chris Jones is unblocked on a play that could have been a touchdown pass. I mean, it's crazy what's going on. But to sit here and say, Kyle Shanahan, fire the guy. Kyle Shanahan has gotten you to 2 Super Bowls. Oh, by the way, with 2 different bleeping quarterbacks, man. That's a big deal. This is not, we've had Brady for the last. You with 2 different quarterbacks. You got there with Garoppolo. You got there with Brock Purdy. You got there with a guy that you traded for that couldn't stay healthy, and you got a guy who was Mr. Bleepin' Irrelevant that you turned into a big star player. You put together a great team, and all this, fire him. The big games. You know what? There's 30 other teams in the NFL that would say, I'll take Kyle Shanahan as my coach. I'll take him. We're going to lose in the Super Bowl? Okay, I'll sign up for that right now. I'm a Jets fan. You think I wouldn't take the Jets losing in the Super Bowl? I wouldn't take that as an outcome right now. I still wouldn't wear Super Bowl T-shirts and hats every single day. We lost. We got
It'll never happen.
It doesn't matter. It's never going to happen. You're right.
No,
but the same thing.
But you got to storm the court today.
It's great. Yes, I'll run on the court. Why? Because the Jets lost. You run on the court every game. But that's what it is. It's the same. It's the same philosophy of, this guy gets us all the way to the end, but he can't finish, and somebody else will not only do everything he did, but is going to go back. Who's that guy? Tell me who that guy is that's coming in. Tell me that guy that's out there that's going to do better than Kyle Shanahan and come in. Tell me that guy. Tell me who that guy is, and I'll say, okay, great, go hire him, right? Tell me the guy that's coming into Ohio State, better than Ryan Day, that's going to do what? Tell me that guy. Tell me who that guy is, and I'll say, okay, yes, go hire him. He is out there. He is outstanding. There is nobody. Because sometimes you got to understand, you get as far as you do, and you lose a game. And everybody's looking for blame. You always want to blame somebody. Niners fans want to blame somebody. The old "a few good men" line, a jury trial's about assigning blame. They're going to give us Santiago, we're going to give him Kendrick. Right? Everybody wants to blame. And Kyle Shanahan is an easy target. So that's what it is. But all this over the top, and the 2-3 days after with the overtime and the taking the ball first, it's just crazy. And it's stupid talk from people that should know better. But hey, okay, you don't like going to Super Bowls? Fire Kyle Shanahan. See how easy it's going to be to get back there. See when all of a sudden you're looking up at a couple of teams in a year and go, man, well, I can't believe we're 4-7. We should be better than this. Kyle Shanahan was even better than this. Yeah, you're going to get exactly what you deserve.
Well, and that's the thing we've talked about a lot with coaching processes, and I know the 10-point leads and blowing fourth quarters and getting outscored as miserably as he had. What is it, about a 5.5 to 1 ratio? That's problematic, right, in terms of the game you're calling and the execution late in games. So you can't dismiss it categorically because that's hit on his record. But I do stand by, as you put it, the idea that you got to make plays, right? Is if you put the ball in a guy's hand, you got to take care of it. Now, there was confusion on that third down play in terms of who was supposed to pick up Jones, quite obviously, and whether Purdy should have said something to Kittle about which direction he was supposed to go. He goes right instead of left, which gives Jones the free run and disrupts either to Ayuk or to Jennings, whichever you end up going to, and certainly it goes to Jennings and falls incomplete. You can question, all right, should you have gone for it on fourth down inside the 5-yard, at the 9-yard line and everything else to force them to go full length of the field if you don't score? I mean, there's a million things you can do with it, but, some of these are fairly entertaining conversations because it becomes all right, who's the coach? And this year, you got Belichick, you got Vrabel, you got Pete Carroll, you got people that are out there that are nice names. Are they necessarily going to be better than what Shanahan has been? And is it all on Shanahan? That's where we're at, right? And hot take nonsense rules the day. He's not blameless, and the fact that he's made sure to point out that everybody knew everything. Hey, Greasy talked to Purdy. Like, Purdy came forward. He's like, no, Brian Greasy talked to me about that. So I knew what was going on. I knew the drill. It was one of those doth protest too much kind of scenarios. It's like, because now it's no, we're not a bunch of idiots around here. Like, the fact that you have to do that is problematic and just can't let the media do what they're going to do with it, that you feel that you have to be defensive. So that's a little concerning. But you're in a position, you're a Super Bowl, a favorite to return to the Super Bowl coming into next year. So now, can you make it happen? Now, the whole other thing with Feliciano and Burford, I mean, that's a much bigger story to get into.
That's insane. I mean, you got 49ers offensive linemen fighting with people online who want to say whose fault it was that Chris Jones was unblocked on that last play of overtime where they threw an incomplete pass where Purdy had Ayuk and Jawan Jennings open for touchdowns and he had to just throw it away too fast. Oh, it's not our fault. It's the right guard's fault. What do you mean it's the right guard? What are you telling me it's my fault?
Hey, a quick shot is not needed if the guy that was supposed to block him blocks him. This is Feliciano. Burford. Sheesh.
That's
my app to this. Get well soon, bro. Feliciano, I'm sorry, bro. I woke up hungover and I'm being a B word. In trying to have one's back, I hurt you. It's blanked up and I apologize. You got nothing but greatness ahead of you. I'm sorry, bro. And then that Jalen Carter about murder coming, like, it just spiraled off the rails. I mean, come on now.